Hello everyone. I um I know I'm probably looking I feel like I'm looking kind of like I feel this evening. Um Good glorious evening, and it has been a very busy day for me. And I normally get up and say good glorious morning no matter what, because I do my videos mostly in the mornings. However, today I am inspired to do it just right now while I'm thinking about it. So, welcome to Lavender House. Um, and I am going to coordinate the videos that I have on my site so that you can pick out the ones that are about spirituality, and you can pick out the ones that are about health. And I think I'm going to separate them into mind and body. So it's spirit, mind, and body. That's forthcoming because I have to get into my techno mode. So I'll have to get back into Houston with my techno son, who, thank you for all of your prayers. We're still in remission. All praise be unto God. So prayers and faith and so much love pouring out to all of us is what keeps us going. Okay, so I said that I was doing this like now because one is because Spirit has it so heavy on my mind, so I am inspired to. And so I'll just go right into the story. I was working out in the field today, and so in my travels, I happened to stop at a place to use the facilities before I went to my client's home. And it was around lunchtime, that time when we're all lined up in these public places that are selling food. And I remembered as I walked through and just caught a glance of the bodies that were lined up and the age groups. Okay. And so at noon on a Monday, it's people who are working. And so there were like some construction workers, and there were some quite likely office workers because of the way they were dressed. And so it wasn't like, a line full of young people in Mickey D's. And I think even if it were, I would have had the same inspiration. So I am inspired today to talk about weapons of mass destruction. That's what I want to call this. I want to call this weapons of mass destruction. As many of you know, I am a natural health, diet, and lifestyle counselor. And I don't know, I think I'm wearying my family and my friends with read the labels and pay attention to this. And especially my strongest term, no sugar, no dairy, no wheat. So, what I want to talk to you today about is what's really killing us. What's really killing us? I mean, we went through a war with people looking for weapons of mass destruction, and I promise you, there are probably other countries looking at us and thinking, oh, we don't have to go bother them. They're going to keel over in a couple of years. You know. So, what am I talking about when I'm talking about weapons of mass destruction and my experience going through a place? I was not in line to purchase any food. I was actually just going through to use the restrooms because in that area, I know that the restroom was clean. So, anyway, food is a weapon of mass destruction, depending on how we use it. Now we know that a person can have an AK. Oh gosh, I don't. I'm not familiar with the guns. I want to say an AK-747 or something like that. The ones where they can like shoot a lot of people at one time. Okay, so I'm not familiar with those things, but our food is doing the same thing. I promise you. We have what we call the standard American diet. And I'm going to pick on a little bit about with that, because even when we are focusing on a quote unquote healthy diet here in this United States of America, all across the nation, because I've been on the West Coast, I've been on the East Coast, I've been kind of up and down the gamut. Okay, and we've got lots of Mickey D's and all these kinds of places, and we see that. But like right here, right now in Texas, oh my goodness, oh, we'll probably kill over in a couple of years, but not if you listen to me. If you will listen to me. Okay, I just had to get that in there. Got your attention? Fine, because I'm going to talk to you about your diet and your lifestyle. And anywhere in this, I can say, ask me how I know. Ask me how I know. Ask me how I know. It is a personal journey. Not so much the book lessons that I've learned. And I've learned a lot. I spent many grueling hours learning it, and I'm still learning it. But it really bugs me that I'm not getting more people to listen to me and understand what I'm trying to tell you. There is an AK-747 in your kitchen. Okay? And if you walk out to and into the Mickey D's and the, oh my gosh, seriously, people, we can have spiritual gatherings that have brunch or have treats. We can have we can actually have gatherings at a gym, or what we would consider healthy lifestyle places. And unfortunately, we can find some of the same things on the recreation table. Now, fortunately, I have not been into the gym that did this. Okay, I just heard about it. All right, so this is secondhand information. When you can go into a situation, maybe it's your office, maybe it's let's just go there. And you go into the office and there's an office meeting, okay? And you get donuts and coffee. You get bagels and coffee. And I'm sorry, the donuts are slathered with chocolate. They're lathered in sugar. Okay, I'm picking on sugar. And then you can slather the cream cheese and the other stuff and the honey and the flavored cream cheeses that have all the additives and the sugars and stuff in it, to spread on the bagel. And then there's 9 pounds of packages of sugar, okay? Or even, I kid you not, in MD Anderson, when I would go through the cafeteria, I was appalled that Sweet and Low was one of the sugar substitute sweeteners that's on the at the coffee bar. Really? That stuff used to have a warning on there that said that it was proven to be detrimental to your health. Really? Are people not reading the labels anymore? Are you not reading the labels? So here we go. I tell people all the time, no sugar, no dairy, no wheat. Why? Sugar is one of the major components in all of its forms: cakes, cookies, pastas, rice, refined processed foods that we're putting into our bodies, and it causes the body to overproduce, it stimulates insulin and causes the body to overproduce. And I'm pretty sure most of you have heard things about something called insulin resistance. If not, you've definitely heard about diabetes. Diabetes ranks right up there with heart. Okay? Heart problems, cardiac arrhythmias, cardiac Because why is it ranking up there? There's two things in particular in this United States that are like running rampant. They're running through the neighborhood with the AK-747s. I promise you. And it's in the shape of a donut. It's in the shape of a piece of cake. It's in the shape of all these things that we use to celebrate life. It's killing you. Okay. I really am on a soapbox here. No sugar. Why? Because it does things in the body to encourage diabetes. And although you may be 15 years old and you can eat 5 pounds of it at one time and it doesn't bother you, wait till you get my age and find out that you were predisposed genetically to maybe type 2 diabetes. Or maybe something happens to you. There is a direct correlation with diabetes and blood flow. Okay? So diabetes aligned with cardiac circulatory processes. So if you've got SERP running through your bloodstream, what's going to stop you from having, I don't know, atherosclerosis or a stroke or any number of these other things? One thing lines up for the other. There are consequences. So why do I want to pick on dairy? Okay, the majority of our dairy is so processed. And I'm just going to put this one on. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on dairy. Here's the deal. The cow's milk is for the baby cow. Now, and I'm going to pick on us ladies because we like to take care of our bodies and look good. Are you still drinking cow's milk? Do you want to continue drinking cow's milk? Look in the mirror. Are you beginning to look like a cow? Put the milk down. Okay? That's not all I want to say about that. The pasteurization of the milk, the homogenized milk that we have. So if you think you need dairy after the age of about 3 years from a cow, you might want to read the label. Pasteurized milk, it's been stripped of all the enzymes, okay? And I don't have any problem with the pasteurization because I am told by people who are much older who got milk from the dairy cow that they could be sick as a dog too, okay? Well, I want to go back to my first thing. The cow's milk is to feed the baby cow, all right? So, okay, I hope that I'm still going. So, if you're not a baby cow, take a second look at what you're doing with dairy. There are videos on YouTube. There's videos regarding all these things that's going on with the dairy, okay? And then wheat. The wheat in our country is pretty much a GMO product, as well as corn, as well as soybeans. Tremendously. And so here's the thing. If the cows are being fed the corn and the corn is GMO modified, then what's really happening in the cow's body? And is the cow's milk got GMO stuff in it? We used to say you are what you eat, but then we started saying you are what you digest. And so that animal is giving products in its flesh and in its milk that contain some of these elements that we really look at and consider contaminants. So do some research, people, and start making some healthier choices. There was a thing that I saw not too long ago that said cheese, not cheese. I think it was on YouTube, quite likely. And of course, you don't just like look at everything on YouTube and make a decision and say, oh, well, I'm throwing that out, kind of thing. But dig a little deeper when you have some time. Yeah, you can Facebook with your friends and you can look at the pictures and say hello and these kinds of things. But then flip over to something else. Google, okay? How is cheese really made? And you might want to consider your choices. Now, there are brands of all of these products, and I'm not going to call the names because I haven't researched all of them, probably not even enough to qualify. But here's my rule of thumb. If you're reading a label and you can't say it out of your mouth, don't put it in your mouth. So I'm going to pick on dairy. Margarine, read the label on the margarine. Read the label on the, I think it's called Healthy Choice. I think that's the one that they have in the hospitals, in those little tubes. Okay, you would have to get a magnifying glass, but Google it and see what's the ingredients in there. And do you really want to put that in your sick body? Stop and think about it. Weapons of mass destruction, I tell you. Well, I'm not going to go there. Okay, so I say no sugar, no dairy, no wheat or corn or soy products. Now that's going to put you into a lot of different things, okay? And it's not like we can just wake up tomorrow morning saying, okay, I'm never doing sugar, dairy, or wheat anymore. No, it's a thing that your body will adapt to over time, but mostly with these products and the way that they're packaged and sold to us and advertised to us, it leads to misconception, and it leads to devious perceptions, because all is not what it seems. And everybody's not wearing a long dark trench coat that you can see the muzzle of the AK-747. I'm going to have to look that up. That doesn't sound right. AK-47 maybe? The gun. Okay? Let's put the gun down. So, that's not all. Pesticides. Here in Texas, we have a lot of rain, we have a lot of water, everything is flourishing, and so there are bugs. There are cockroaches and mosquitoes and all kinds of little creepy crawly things. And not to mention the rodents and things like this that we don't want in our homes. But we really, really should stop and consider before we're spraying ourselves down with the stuff that has the DEET in it to get rid of the mosquitoes. That stuff is seeping into your skin. And your skin allows it to seep into your bloodstream over time. Same thing with the suntan lotions or sunblock, okay? Read the labels, people, and start limiting your use of whatever part of these products that you can, okay? So now let me go to oils. I picked on margarine, but then vegetable oil. Canola oil is not that good either. I have fallen in love with what we think is coconut oil until we find out anything better. Coconut oil, olive oil, walnut oil, almond oil. Okay? These products are not quite as processed, okay, as some of the others. So let's try leaning more toward these more natural things. Vegetable oil, well, you want to read and see what's in there. If it's soybean oil, I'm looking at the labels on the salad dressings. And if it says soybean oil, yikes, I'm putting it back. I'd rather have a squeeze of lemon, and if I have access to some, a little bit of olive oil. If I don't have access to any, then I won't have any. Okay? A little salt and pepper. Go for it. Okay. Pesticides, that's your sprays for your mosquitoes and things. Vitamin B1, all your B vitamins. Okay, if you take a B vitamin supplement, that will help a lot. Garlic, most people don't want to eat garlic. I think I touched on that before. But there are foods that get into your bloodstream and you don't smell quite so delicious to the mosquitoes. I have tried the lavender oil, put a little bit in some water in a spray bottle. That smells a lot better on my clothes than off. Okay, I don't want to off myself. So, okay, so here's another one, mold. Because we have so much rain here in this southeast Texas region, and our temperatures are our climate is so humid, especially when we go as further south and even in Galveston, and all along this area. Pay attention to mold. Now, mold might be growing behind the sheetrock in your house or your apartment, and you don't even know it. But look around your window sills, especially if you have ceiling fans and especially if you use AC. And of course, I know you do. And that moisture gets on the windows and it kind of drips down and it forms little moisture layers on the sills of your windows. And over the course of time, because we've got blinds, we open the blinds, we close the blinds, we're not often having to pull back the curtains, and we don't really raise the blinds. We just open and close them and open and close them. But when you raise them, those of us who clean our houses that way, a lot of times you will see a little black line. That's mold. And if your bed is close to that window, I mean, the mold spores are airborne, okay, and can very, very easily be drifting their way into your lungs. Okay, so a few other things. Drugs. And I don't just mean drugs that, you get it. Well, you can get addicted to the drugs that are prescribed to you by your doctor. And just almost any of them can have an adverse reaction. One of the ones that I'm really, really looking at is prednisone or cortisone injections and things like this, steroid injections that get us out of pain, and we can go and we can move and it helps us. Okay, be very, very careful, because the consequence of that, one of the consequences of that is actually vitamin and mineral depletion, and ultimately it kind of affects diabetes or diabetic relationship within your body. Okay, so steroids, and I want to say any medicine that causes the body to stop doing things naturally in a major way, in a quick, fast, hurry way, okay, it's going to have some consequences. You might feel better now, but that's going to wear off, and then you'll need some more. And then you wind up needing some more, and then it's going to wear off, and then you're going to need some more, and then you're going to need some more, and then it's going to wear off. You get where I'm getting to? Okay, put the gun down. Okay, so I've picked on our standard American diet. I've picked on the sugar, the dairy, the wheat. I've picked on the toxins, the pesticides, the oils. And what I want to tell you about is what some of these things that have so many toxins in them produce. And I'm going to just pop diabetes right up there. One of the reasons I've changed my own diet so drastically is because I will not accept the diagnosis of diabetes mellitus type 2. I'm not participating with that one. Well, let's just say I'm going to do everything I can to resist the temptations that would put me into that concentration camp. Okay, it just is what it is. So, what are we going to replace some of these things with? If you find out that you're vitamin and mineral deficient, and when you have your doctor's visit, ask the doctor to, especially if you're over 40 years old, over 50 years old, you want to ask the doctor to remind the doctor to run things like lipid profiles to check your cholesterol, hemoglobin A1C to check your blood sugar levels, your glucose levels, your vitamins like your vitamins B. Vitamin B12 is one that's a big one in this country that we're deficient in as we get a certain age in particular, because we're not getting a lot of what we need, or the amount that we need in our diet, because most of us are not eating our fruits and vegetables. Eat your vegetables. And even if we eat our vegetables, we still may need to supplement some of that. Okay. So I'm going to bring up omega-3s and turmeric and garlic and ginger. These are spices and things that you can find in nature, and you can begin to supplement with yourself. Vitamin D is also a big one. We think we're supposed to get that from the sun, and we're scared to go into the sun because then we get skin cancer and all these other things. Yes, there are consequences, a lot of consequences to a lot of the things that we are doing. And so first, be aware of your body and what's going on with your body, and cooperate with your body. There are 8 laws of nature, or 8 natural laws of health. And I will be sharing more about this in upcoming videos, especially this week, because I'm on a rant. And I'm going to be looking for a place that will open its doors for me to come and share some of my diet and lifestyle counseling information with you. Okay, so let's get a group of people together and see what we can find out and what we want to change, or what we can change very naturally and very gently, and begin to love our bodies. Now here's my favorite scripture. I beseech ye therefore, brethren, that you offer your bodies a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto God. And be ye not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that you might prove what is that good and perfect and acceptable will of God. For you, dear ones, are the temple of God. Now, go forth. I know, I picked on you. I pushed you, I shoved you, I hope. But most of all, I hope that I have inspired you to take a closer look at what you're doing, how you're eating, what are you putting in your mouth, and then what are you saying out of your mouth? Faith comes by hearing, and hearing by the word. And God loves us all. And I think I remember one more. And it says something like, it is God's will that you be in health and prosper, even as your soul prospers. And that's about enough of that. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I hope you learned something from it. Call me if you've got questions, or a place that I can come and give a lesson, because I'm ready to teach. 408-917-9013. I love you. Have a glorious day.